4, 3, 2, 1.
Surprise, you didn't expect a return from me, Monster Jam Rainbow X Pictures, or Rainbow X for short or whatever, but here we are, back once again for another video, or should I say another part of the series for Monster Jam New Generation. As you can see here, this time we are taking back from Series Green, and we're going to do something a little different here. Instead of just commentating on the whole event, we have some highlights for you today. And as we take a look at the previous Series Green point standings, we have Nicholas Burns and Biker Zombie taking the early lead as well. We have James Wilson trailing behind. You can go ahead and pause and read who is in which placement of points. But here are the points so far after round 2. And here's the other side, or the other half of Series Green. We can see James Harper and Ice Cream Man trailing from the playoff spot, as we have Hunter Craddock right behind them and a bunch of other drivers as well. Same thing as the other image. You can pause and read which one is in which placement. Let's take a look at the very first match of the first round of the tournament bracket. We have Harley Quinn facing Slinger, sorry. We have John Hartsock already taking the lead out there. You can see he gets some huge momentum and gets some big air. And look at Christine Lauritsen. She falls off the track, but track officials did say that she was okay at the time. So she'll be ready for the Steel Titan Cup or whatever comes ahead. We have James Wilson and Jamie Sullivan next. This was a race that shocked everyone, and you're about to see what happens here. As we take a look at the green light, you can see they're both trailing together. You can see they get some big air. And you could see James Wilson falling behind, and he cut short just before that. And I was told that his engine shot out right before he crossed that finish line, giving Jamie Sullivan the opportunity to cross it first. Here's what the current tournament bracket looks like. You could see that John Hartsock will now face Wonder Woman. We have Gas Monkey facing Northern Nightmare, and a bunch of others along your way. Going a little quick here, we got Hunter Craddock, and then facing against the previous winner, Preston McCoy in Recreation. Let's see which one of these drivers will go head-to-head into the quarterfinals. And the green light is lit. You can see here that Preston McCoy does get the advantage here, but look at Hunter Craddock. He catches up, and this was a very close finish here for these two. That's why we are taking things a little further into the replay. You can see what happened here. Preston McCoy slowed down a little bit, and you can see that Hunter Craddock and Overkill Evolution might have just snatched the victory away from the previous round 2 winner. And Hunter Craddock does so, and he will move on to the quarterfinals. We have John Hartsock and Slinger facing Holly Davis. Not much performance levels for Holly Davis here, but hopefully she turns things up for future events. As you can see here, she does get a little behind, but look at that huge momentum and huge big air moment for John Hartsock. He might be the driver nominated for the high jump for World Finals. And speaking of high jump, we have Abigail McQueen next. I'm pretty sure she's showing off her high jump skills. She's already in the high jump for World Finals, but she's looking to make things easy for her. As you can see, trailing behind, she gets some big distance and big air too. Knocks over Liam Cunningham in Gas Monkey Garage and does cross that finish line and moves on to the quarterfinals as well. We have another surprising match. Alvaro Falco and the Slicer facing Caden Wilson in Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Caden Wilson is doing pretty well this season so far, but things take a heavy turn here. As you can see, he does get the early lead a little bit, but look at the Slicer going crazy over there, and he bumps into that barrel. Unfortunately, Caden Wilson will be out early in this one. And now let's take a look at the next match. We have Jake Hopkins and Superman facing Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Currently, at that time that I'm recording this, it is Son of a Digger's 15th anniversary, and the real-life Ryan Anderson actually won his series championship, so congrats to him. But speaking in the Diecast series, you can see that Jake Hopkins misses that opportunity, and Ryan Anderson will move on to the quarterfinals in this Diecast channel. This next race we have here, it's Sumi Kocho and Wildflower facing Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. This match took a heated turn as well, as these two female drivers are ready to face each other, but here's what I mean by heated. As you can see that Jamie Sullivan gets the early lead, but look at her, she makes a perfect save, and almost a perfect save there. Not really a perfect save, but if she would have saved that, that would have been nominated for Save of the Year. And I got too distracted by Jamie's incredible move there. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happens. She tries to do a front flip save, but look at Etsumi. She tries to catch up, but Jamie Sullivan herself actually crossed the finish line first, defeating Etsumi Kocho and Wildflower. And a race that we haven't seen was Aiden Garcia against Aaron Outlaw. Aiden Garcia does get the win there. And here are the quarterfinals. Looks pretty stacked right here, but you don't see drivers like Caden Wilson and a bunch of other really good heavy hitters here. This is a really good looking quarterfinal bracket. And speaking of quarterfinals, we have Hunter Craddock returning once again, this time facing John Hartsock. So far, performing the biggest air of the night so far, and I'm pretty sure he might be nominated for the high jump competition for World Finals. You can see that John Hartsock doesn't get the big air this time, but he does make a really good save, and unfortunately for Hunter Craddock, that is going to be the end of the road for him. And now we move on to the next match. Abigail McQueen and Northern Nightmare facing Nicholas Burns, the round 1 winner, by the way. So let's see what the round 1 winner does to Abigail McQueen. And I just realized I think these two faced each other in the final of round 1 as well. Looks like we're about to see a rematch here, but Nicholas Burns goes sideways. Not sure what happened there, but Abigail McQueen does get her revenge and moves on to the semifinals for the second time in her racing career. We have Alvaro Falco facing Ryan Anderson. Alvaro Falco defeated a heavy hitter once. Can he do it again, this time facing Ryan Anderson? We're about to find out here in these highlights. As these two go down to the track, you can see that Ryan Anderson does get the huge air, and he does cross the finish line. This is exactly why Ryan Anderson is always featured in the high jump competition. And now we have Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash facing Aiden Garcia. Jamie is back once again. She got really lucky with Etsumi Kocho there, but can she get lucky against Aiden Garcia? And as the green light goes down, you can see Jamie Sullivan gets the early lead this time. She gets the sky wheelie, but fails to save it, and Aiden Garcia will cross the line and will move on to the semifinals for the first time in his racing career. And speaking of first-timers, we have John Hartzog and Aiden Garcia going into the semifinals for the first time, but we also see some returning competitors for the semifinals. We have Abigail McQueen and we have Ryan Anderson. I think he was in the semifinals. Correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty good-looking semifinal bracket. And now we're going to go to the very first semifinal match. We have John Hartzog and Abigail McQueen. The battle of the highest, biggest air. Which one of these drivers moves on to the final? Let's see who will move on. And you can see that Abigail and John are both in the lead there together. Abigail fails, and it's going to be John Hartzog and Slinger advancing to the final for the first time. And I believe that was a broken streak there. You have Ryan Anderson versus Aiden Garcia, sorry. I meant to say in the other race that the streak has been broken. There are no more female drivers remaining, which means everything will be won by a male driver. For this one, you can see that they're both getting some big air. And for Aiden Garcia, he does make the finish line and defeats Ryan Anderson in the semifinals. Now we're about to see something happen. Will it be John Hartzog or Aiden Garcia? Both in Slinger and Bad News Travels Fast. Let's see which one of these drivers will win the third round of Series Green. This is going to be very heated here. We have the driver with the biggest air of the night versus the driver who is looking to make a Fairytale run. Let's see what happens here. You can see that they're both ready to go. And you can see John Hartzog with the save. He tries to make it, but he fails, almost completing the run. And he fails miserably. I think the same thing happened to him. We saw this last time with Barry Musauer in Series Purple, but look at this. He tries to save it. He does save it, but he fails. He bumps into the dirt ramp, and he crashes to the side, unfortunately not making, or at least crossing the finish line, which means that Aiden Garcia, as you saw the replay, will win round 3 of Series Green as well. Aiden Garcia with the Fairytale run of his life. I believe that is his first win of this one. You can see that John Hartsock on the side, but look at Aiden Garcia driving in the black Bad News Travels Fast, the body from, or at least the Bad News Travels Fast from 2019, the very first Bad News Travels Fast diecast that we got from Spin Master before we got the 25th anniversary scheme that debuted last year, no, in 2023, my apologies, and then reappeared last year and is still making appearances in stores before we got the Terminal Velocity double pack. But look at this here. We have Aiden Garcia positioned onto the ramps here. Congratulations to Aiden Garcia for winning round 3 of Series Green. That means everyone gets double points in this one, not just him. And here are the point standings so far. Aiden Garcia moves up to first place with 42 points. Nicholas Burns drops to second. Abigail McQueen in third. And John Hartsock going to the top 4 as well. You can go ahead and pause and read the points if you can. And here is the other half of the points here. Hunter Craddock now drops down to 11th place from the playoff spot. And looking at the relegation zone, Isaac Holland, Holly Davis, James Harper, and Christine Lauritsen are in the relegation zone. Even though for them, it's still not over since it's very early in the season, but they have to make things happen and have to change things up if they want to survive the relegation zone and stay in Series Green or get promoted from Series Green to Series Yellow, which is the next tour that we're going to be heading for the series highlights, or at least the highlight videos, which is going to be something new that I'm going to be doing for Monster Jam New Generation. As you saw here, the trucks were parked at the pit party. Everyone had a blast, and you can see my cat in the background. You know, she's just sleeping. But overall, what do you guys think of the highlight videos? I know this is just the one thing. I haven't been putting up much work recently because I was in college at the time, and I had to raise my grades, and I did. And now I'm back to making monster truck content, and hopefully soon enough you might see some diecast review videos. Those are coming back as well, but we just ran out of time, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, I'm Rainbow X, and we'll see you next time.